Okay, last part. Use parts 1 and 2 to solve this equation, giving your answer in surd form. Mind ourselves what 1 and 2 were. So I'll pause it and come back and add on the other bits of the question so we can see. Okay. So these are parts 1 and part 2. Part 1, part 2. I don't know why I've done stars. Let me call them 1 and 2. 1 and 2. There we go. That looks like a 7. 1 and 2. There we go. Right. So how are we going to use parts 1 and 2 to solve this? Well, looking at it, I'm going to say this looks quite similar to this. So let me guess. We're going to have to use part 2. To do what, though? So what's the difference? The difference is we've got 4 in this one. We don't have a 4 here. So I'm going to assume that we'll probably be putting in something like alpha is 3 from this bit. So I'm going to ignore that, and I'm just going to focus on these bits here. So y cubed minus 3y minus root 2 is 0. And I would kind of like a 4 here. So I'm going to divide this by 4. Okay. Now I'd like to make a substitution y equals something x. I can see it. Okay. So if I divide everything in this equation by 2, 4y cubed over 8 minus 3y over 2. 2 over 2 equals 0. And now I can make the substitution y over 2 is equal to x. Yeah, you can see that here. So that gives me 4x cubed minus 3x minus root 2 on 2 equals 0. So why did I think to do that? I thought to do that because because it had to be a substitution, so it was just a case of figuring out what the substitution was. And 4 is not anything cubed, but 8 is. So I thought, well, if it was 8, then I've got y over 2, and then obviously I need y over 2 in the other one. But if I divide both of them by 2, I get y cubed over 8 and y over 2. Okay, so first bit done. Do that substitution. Now to figure out what the next bit is. Solve the equation. So I know I can use part 1. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so we actually showed that this was 4x cubed minus 3x. So if we set alpha equals 15, which is what I thought we would have to do, this is 1 over root 2, right? So when alpha is 15, we've got cos of 3 times 15, which is cos of 45, which is 1 over 2. So this is cos of 3 times 15 equals 0. Why am I writing it as 3 times 15 rather than 45? It's because we can now use the solutions that we came up with before, right? Because this is now cos of 3 alpha, so we can use the roots for this in terms of cos alpha and sin alpha. So x equals c was one of them, which in this case is going to be cos of 15. And then the other two solutions were x equals minus cos 15 over 2 plus or minus root 3 over 2 sine 15. Okay, so first solution is cos 15, which I think we already know from up here, is root 3 plus 1 over 2 root 2. Root 3 plus 1 over 2 root 2. So we have minus root 3 plus 1 over 2 root 2 times 2, so 4 root 2, plus or minus, that should be 3 there, I think. Root 3 on 2, sine 15, which was all the way over here. Sine 15. Where did I do it? Root 3 minus 1 over 2 root 2. Root 3 minus 1 over 2 root 2. Root 3 minus 1 over 2 root 2. So we have minus root 3 minus 1 over 4 root 2 plus or minus 3 minus root 3 over 4 root 2, which is 1 over 4 root 2. So I'll do plus first. So if I do plus, I get minus 1 plus 3, so minus 2. And then minus 2 root 3. Or 1 over 4 root 2. So if I do minus, I get minus root 3 minus minus root 3, so that goes to 0. Minus 1, so minus 4. So in third form we've got minus 1 plus root 3 over 2 root 2, or minus 1 over root 2. And let's remember that that's x. So y is equal to 2 lots of each of them. So minus 1 plus root 3 over root 2, or minus 2 over root 2, which is root 2, or the other one, which was root 3 plus 1 over root 2. Root 3 plus 1 over root 2. Final answer. I just checked and I think I made a mistake somewhere with the negative, so let's see if we can find it. This one. This was... This one should have been minus root 3 minus 1. So I'm guessing plus. Yes, that should, so if this is plus, that should be plus there. So that should be root 3 minus 1. And that should be root 3 minus 1. Okay, small mistake. Okay, hopefully that's all crystal clear. I think, to be honest, the only really difficult bit that I found that I had to really think was this step here. This one here. So figuring out how to use part 2. It's one of those questions where you have to use your imagination. It's not something that you can, it just doesn't necessarily jump out. I guess knowing that you're going to have to use a substitution, you're probably going to have to use a substitution helps, because it narrows it down, and there's not many things that it's likely to be. So there's just little clues that you've got to follow to find the answer. But I think the rest of it's quite straightforward. I mean, the fact that alpha is 15 degrees is, going to be obvious, because that's what we did in part 1. Okay, good.